All right, you know what it is. We're back again. Once again, we're just doing a little music appreciation. June is Black Music Month. We have Juneteenth is tomorrow. It is, after midnight in some places where you are. But Juneteenth, June 19th, 1865, was the day that the last slaves got word that they were free, which was actually, more than a year later from the Emancipation Proclamation. And we know what has been going on lately and what has been happening. I put together that playlist of hip hop songs, but this time I want to take it a different direction. I'm going to look at some songs that we know, some that we are very much familiar. We're going to look at how many there are and how far back this goes. Because if I go to my Protest Power playlist, excuse me, had a little background noise. We start off with Childish Gambino. This is America. And we know this song only came out a few years ago. And it was well received. I mean, it was a hit. People were playing it, vibing with it. But yet and still, some people did not get everything that he was expressing within his video. And there have been plenty of videos about that. But the next one, Marvin Gaye.
I just want to ask the question.
What's going on?
Who really cares?
This is one that we all know. We all are very much familiar with this song, I should say. But what's going on? We still have to ask this question even today. And I really like how they put a different spin on it. They put some current footage on this particular video, whoever uploaded it. But that is a good one that we all know and are very much familiar with. The next one on my list, I have John Legend, If You're Out There. And we know that is a powerful song, a very, very powerful song. But notice we sticking with the kind of the pop music or R&B, classic soul theme here. So we're just gonna take a little trip back. All right, and we know that Sam Cooke, "A Change Gonna Come," that's one of those songs that was played throughout Obama's campaign as he used the slogan of change as his campaign. Now, we're very familiar with that one. But this next one by Seal Johnson, I have heard, I think, two hip hop artists. One is Styles P. He has actually recreated this, and Common is featured on his version of it. But this is a very strong and powerful song. And I first heard this song on the Boondocks, on the episode when Ruckus got the results back, got his if you seen the Boondocks where Ruckus figured out he didn't have revitiligo, and he had that DNA test that told him something other than what he wanted to believe. But this song popped up, part of it played in the background, but I'm just do a little snippet of it.
The dark brown shades of my skin only add color to my tears. Oh, splash against my hollow bones that rocks my soul. Oh, oh, oh.
That's all I'm gonna give you right now. Take some time and listen to what he says on that one. I mean, he's just really just trying to figure it all out, and it's some pain that Seal Johnson expresses in that song, and it's a very powerful song because once I heard those initial chords on Boondock, I said, "Man, let me see if I can find this song somewhere." All right, and notice on my other list, I think it may have been like 30, maybe 40 songs. We know it was definitely more than 20. So we see this one also has 29 videos. So we see that these racial topics come up often, reoccurringly. All right. Now, I'm not going to skip over Miss Angie Stone here. My People featuring James Ingram. Of course, if you're familiar with that song, you know that is a good song with a powerful message as well. Moving on to Mr. Bob Marley, So Much Trouble in the World. Good song. That's one that I feel like is more well known worldwide, you know, even though it came out so long ago or what have you. Another Angie Stone that I throw on there is Brother. Then we got, of course, Get Up, Stand Up. And we got to stand up for our rights. You can't give up the fight. That's what's basically what the chorus of that song says. Now, the Staple Singles, we know that's a group that made great music. And even though that was before my time, I really, really enjoyed this song, "I'll Take You There." And as I was going back doing just research on, okay, which songs would I include and which songs have a theme and a message, me being, younger and none the wise, I realized that this is actually a song that is talking about protest. So, it's a place of peace where they talk about, and they just like, hey, I want to take you there because, ain't nobody worrying. Ain't nobody crying. But, that's a good one. And of course, respect. We all just looking for a little respect. That's the great Aretha Franklin, God rest her soul, the Queen of Soul. All right. And we know the Godfather, James Brown, said loud, I'm black and I'm proud. Say it loud. I'm black and I'm proud. We got one more Bob Marley track. We got War that I have included on here. And moving on, we getting into Michael Jackson. He had several songs that talk about just, healing the world. I don't know if I put Heal the World on here, but We Are the World. That was another one. I didn't include that one, but the man in the mirror we see in this particular video, we start off with Dr. Martin Luther King's image. So we know that's really digging deep into the issues at hand and really saying, hey, we got to make sure that in order to see the change, we have to make sure that we are the ones who will be the change or the change agent. And, if we are that example, we can show others something outside of what they normally see. Because sometimes we get caught up in ways and thought patterns and lifestyles because we don't see anything different, anything that kind of challenges it, anything that puts it in a different perspective that will help us to understand that, hey, maybe this ain't the best mindset to maintain. And maybe I can pick up on a new, refreshed mindset in order to make this world a better place. But definitely start with the man in the mirror. Living for the City, Stevie Wonder, he's singing on that one. That's a good one. And then another, They Don't Care About Us. This is another Michael Jackson song, and he really he spits some venom on that. Like the lyrics, if you just read them, because I know it has a different melody and it has an upbeat and it's kind of fast. But Mike, he put it down on They Don't Care About Us. He really did. And I just included Living for the City because, as you can see, we got an extended version that's 7 minutes long, and then a version that is not as long, which is 3 minutes and 40 seconds. Now, the next song by Curtis Mayfield, Choices of Colors, it's one of my favorite old school songs, and it just asks us a question. If you had a choice of colors, which one would you choose? Like, really. And I know people have brought up how Jane Elliott discusses, would you choose to be treated in the manner that Black people, African Americans, people of color have been subjected to being treated? So which one would you choose? But this is a powerful song that I really enjoy. And Project Pat, he actually remade, and they actually did a great job on that choices rendition that they created, if I might say so. You know, Billie Holiday, Strange Fruit. This is a song that comes from way back to that I decided to include this one because when I was in college, I saw a play entitled Strange Fruit. And I know as I read about the Harlem Renaissance and things of that nature and read certain poems because I was an English major in college, but also in high school, being exposed to that stuff, I learned about strange fruit. And it has a much deeper meaning than the surface reveals. So if you have never understood exactly what strange fruit is, look it up, search it, and they actually had some strange fruit hanging in Georgia not too long ago. And if you still don't understand what I'm saying, the strange fruit is when they would hang Black people, African Americans, when people were hanged, and they would leave them out there so they can be like an example to see, hey, this what happened to him, and it would have that symbol of fear on display, and it could have been your mama, daddy, sister, brother, cousin, uncle, whoever, and they would leave that fruit hanging from that tree until somebody came along, cut it down, and threw him in a hole, I guess. Threw he or she in a hole, I should say. Now, the Impressions were a winner. That was a good one, and it just speaks life into people, helps them to be have some pride about themselves. Black Pearl, that was something I did not know about. I actually went to a website just like I did on the other one, just kind of skimming around, and I learned about Black Pearl, and it's a song that promotes pride in women, especially little girls of color. Excuse me. Message from the Black Man by the Temptations. That was another one that I discovered. Take some time to listen to it if you have a moment. And Parliament, Chocolate City. We have a few chocolate cities across the country, but Parliament has a long variety, a long catalog of songs. So Chocolate City is one of those that spoke to, civil rights, social injustice, and just having that harmonious town, city, area, place. And I'm getting down to the end because and I'm taking the turn because we have a few songs that if you haven't heard of them, you probably should be aware of them, or you should become aware of them, because some of these were the battle cries. Some of these were the theme songs of the struggle. We Shall Overcome. They will sing that as they march. They will sing that, just to kind of calm them. We know they would sing these songs to help them believe, help that faith to be restored, and help that pride and boldness and courage to come out. Because we know it wasn't going to be easy, but in order for us to overcome, we know we had to make sure we work together. And then, of course, in order for us to overcome, we can't let anybody turn us around. So, ain't gonna let nobody turn me around. That was a song that was played all throughout the civil rights movement. I mean, sang throughout the civil rights movement. And of course me just going on the information I've been able to read up on, study, find myself, speak to people about, learn about whatever it is. But I know there's some people out here that's still alive that went through this stuff, and we need to make sure we make a point to kind of talk to them about some of the stuff that they experienced, because some of the same stuff is happening now. But we know that our mindset, we got a few differences just overall, as far as like the mindset of the masses, or the resources, as well as the I don't know, it's like it's very much similar to then, but also there are some aspects that are different, because we know we have a lot more technology, we have a lot more eyes and ears tuned in, and we get this information continuously, consistently through all these social media platforms. It's not necessarily hidden away in the blocks of the community or the towns or on the walls of these areas. We can see this stuff, so we can actually socially be connected in order to get the word out and make some things happen in a more rapid manner. Because think about it, with Juneteenth, they couldn't just pick up the phone and say, hey, you know what, we free, y'all free. If you didn't know that, there you go. It didn't go that way. They had to send word. And we know some people may have known that, but they just was withholding that information, So we have some ways to transfer this information and get the word out, but we got to make sure we keep the momentum. And I know that's what they had to do, because we know the Montgomery bus boycott lasted over a year. Lift every voice and sing. We getting into some Negro national anthems, spirituals, and all of that right here. So this is a place that, if you don't know about it, this was the sound. These are some of the songs that were the soundtracks of the struggle of the civil rights movement. So I just felt like it was necessary to add those. And then you see here at the end, I kind of threw in Michael Jackson, "We Are the World," and "Heal the World." But take a moment, become more familiar, and happy Black Music Month. You can look at some that we may or may not have been exposed to, but ask some of your friends, family members, colleagues, elders, grandparents, whoever. Just ask them about some of these songs and what it meant to them and what was going on, because I know it's very interesting how some people are connected to these songs. They may actually know the person, or they may actually spend some time with the band, or you know what I mean. It's a lot of stuff that we can reveal through this stuff. So I just encourage you all. I implore you all to just try and learn more about our culture, our heritage, our history, in order to advance the culture, because it's so many of these songs that we've heard the melody or beat, and it's been sped up, slowed down, and put whatever interpolation on it or what have you, and they reuse it for their own, vision, for their own creative purposes. But we can see that that's kind of connecting history too. So once again, happy Black Music Month. Happy Juneteenth. And of course, Father's Day is Sunday. Happy Father's Day. Have a great one.